It's Late Tackle. Thank you for the comments and feedback from last week. We had some pretty good comments, some rather nice words. One from Skibulas, who said that I look like I drive a BMW, I played water polo rather than rugby at school, and I have bad hair. Wrong on all three counts.
Skibulas also said that I look like I come from Bloem and I shop at Pep. I'm sorry to let you down, bud, but I'm from the coast. Yeah.
And you're also very well dressed, I might say.
Another interesting comment came from Rob Otto. He was about the Lions fight. What's his name again? Anton?
Look, there's actually honestly no excuse for pronouncing Marnot's name, Marius. In my defense, I don't know if you saw, I was getting a bit excited about the idea of an impending Lions victory, so apologize for that. We will change it. What were you most excited about over the past weekend of rugby?
Well, first of all, I got to put my hand up. I said the Bulls would win, and they lost again at Loftus. That was a bit of a shock to the system. I was at Newlands on Saturday. Dwayne Vermeulen took a punch to the face and did nothing about it. That was a bit strange.
Very zen.
Came into the post-match press conference with a big fat lip, but yeah, I mean, his team ended up on the winning side.
Yeah, listen, two highlights for me. Marcel Brachi on Genya, one of the bigger hits I've seen in Super Rugby. And the other thing I wanted to point out, a great try by Dylan Lates. It's his second try in 2 weeks. Watch out for this oak. I hope he gets moved further infield, and I think he could be a Springbok in time to come. However, the big story of the week, Karmichael Hunt as to appear on charges of supplying cocaine. Hence, I've dressed like Tony Montana in recognition of this dark hour. But for more on the issue, say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, before any rugby got played on Friday, the story broke. Karmichael Hunt supplying cocaine. Now, this guy, massive name in Australia, right? He started off with Rugby League, he went to Aussie Rules, and now he's just recently moved to the Reds. And the allegations, because that's all they are at this stage, is that he was supplying cocaine to Rugby League players, okay? The investigation is being done by the Crime and Corruption Commission, and this is obviously a wider thing, okay? It's not just about rugby players. This is an issue on the Gold Coast in Australia. And what they're trying to do is clamp down, and he's obviously a big name, and that's going to scare some people higher up the drug dealing food chain.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously reprehensible behavior, if it is true, you know, we don't know yet. But with a name like Karmichael Hunt, I mean, you're either going to be a professional sportsman, you're either going to be a drug dealer, or you're going to be like an exotic dancer. So, I mean, he's got 2 out of 3. I've seen some photos. I think some ladies will be happy if we have the hat trick, but...
This isn't the first time that organised crime has been linked to Australian sport. Back in 2013, they had what was called the Asada Commission, and there we're looking into doping. Okay, there we're looking into programs run by teams where things like human growth hormone are being used on players. And that's obviously a massive issue.
Yes, yeah.
That's proper.
I think that's something that we can actually link to local, because I think, don't put me on in court for this, but I have heard anecdotal stories from guys in the sort of know. I am also, when I look at like a lot of the young rugby players, I do think we have a problem with Oaks taking juice in South African rugby. I mean, I'm looking at some of the 17-year-old schoolboy rugby players. Their muscular development, you do not get that way without juice. And
forget about anecdotal evidence. We've got Gerbrand Grobler, right? Yeah. Province Lock, October last year, tested positive for an anabolic steroid, and he's been banned for 2 years. So this stuff happens in South Africa. We can't pretend that it doesn't. And we can't pretend that these are only issues in Australia. Yeah,
exactly. Let's move it on to something a bit less depressing. Let's look at the thing of the week.
To create some exciting rugby. This was an absolute...
All right, I mean, Colby giving out a falcon there. I mean, I haven't seen a falcon for a... I mean, that's a delightful thing to watch in rugby.
Cheslin looking for touch and finding the player's diff. I mean, there's few things as humorous on a rugby field.
Oh, it's satisfying, I'm afraid. It's wonderful. The pundits with their love of rugby. All right, let's get on to some predictions for next week. Highlanders, Reds?
Got to be Highlanders after the week the Reds have had, surely.
Yeah. But they won last week. I don't know what to draw from this. Force, Hurricanes?
I go with Force, eh? The 5 Sappers in that team. We've got to represent them.
3 UCT students as well. I'm also going with the Force. Cheetahs, Blues?
Cheetahs and Bloem, come on, boys.
Absolutely. Chiefs, Crusaders?
Chiefs, Crusaders, I don't know.
Look, I'm actually going to go Crusaders. Look, they're very strong. They've won more Super Rugby titles than anyone. I just think they're too strong to write off. Rebels, Brumbies?
Brumbies, eh?
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you there. Bulls, Sharks?
Got to be the Sharks. Bulls, 3rd in a row.
Yeah, getting into some dark times in Pretoria there. Lions, Stormers?
I've got to go with Lions at Ellis Park, eh?
Really? Jeez, you gave me grief when I backed them. Look, I'm going to have to go with the Stormers. We will see you next week. Please leave comments, leave feedback. You can let me know how my hair is looking. I've grown out a beard for you guys. Think if he's tell us if he's dressed better.
Remember, if you think you know more than us, please join the Rugby 365 Subaru pool and prove it.